2013 and 2017 are outside the law. Leo Puglia is a history and sociology teacher whose PhD thesis was about Jair Bolsonaro and his supporters, and he joins us now from Rio de Janeiro. Thank you very much for joining us. We saw there in that report that actually a lot of this is about ideology as well as the individual characters involved here. Would you say that was the case?
Yes, for sure. Most of these more radical Bolsonaro supporters, they believe that Lula is a communist and he will install a communist dictatorship. And it happens because, very similar to what happened in the United States, these people are more disconnected of reality because they don't believe in corporate media, and they just get information through WhatsApp and social media made by Bolsonaro supporters and congressmen, and they believe that Lula should not take place, and they are try to set Brazil free from communism, and that's what's about.
Is this divisive? Now, we see the extremes in the protests as we've seen today, but how are people feeling, for example, where you are in Rio de Janeiro?
People here, actually, everything happened too fast, and the first reaction, we are, in one hand, we are very sad for what happened, the destruction of our capital city. We are not surprised, on the other hand, because Bolsonaro supporters, they told that they would do so. They are big fans. Bolsonaro is a big fan of Donald Trump and his supporters as well. And they promised to make an attack similar to what happened in the Capitol in the United States. And what surprised us is that the federal district police did not do its job. That's the problem. We hoped that they would protect the city from this attack, and it did not happen. We had 1 week ago Lula's inauguration in Brasilia. I was there, and people were scared because 1 week before Lula's inauguration, we had an attempt of terrorist attack in Brasilia. A guy put a bomb in a gas truck that would explode Brasilia airport. Hopefully it failed. And we were really scared about this, but the inauguration went fine, and the Bolsonaro supporters promised to take over Brasilia today, do attack like what happened in the United States, but we expect the police to do its job, and it didn't. They just let the protests did what they did. They just destroyed the buildings in Brasilia.
Is there a realistic fear that these sort of protests could happen in other cities? Now, Brasilia is the political, as well as being the capital, it's where all the sort of main political institutions are. But in Rio, Sao Paulo, is there fear that these sort of actions could happen?
They can happen. They're actually, since Lula won the election, the most radical Bolsonaro supporters, they start to camp in front of military headquarters all over Brazil. It happened all over the country, and they are everywhere. They are in front of military headquarters, begging for a military dictatorship. That's their hope, and it's what Bolsonaro promised them. But he didn't deliver, and he's running away to U.S. Afraid of being arrested in Brazil for his crimes.
OK, Leo, thank you very much for joining us. Leo Puglia, joining us from Rio de Janeiro.